Hey guys, it's Hunter. Welcome back to another video. You guys have been asking for an acoustic guitar demo for a while, but I've been kinda hesitant to make one. One, I'm not a great acoustic player by any means. I don't really play acoustics that much, but also there hasn't really been a drastic change to the acoustic guitar as an instrument in a long time. Well, with the Forte port, Michael Kelly has made some interesting changes to the traditional acoustic design that they claim improves the guitar's performance. And this one is only 300 bucks. I had to check one out for myself, so let's take a closer look.
It's only you will know, 'cause I'm falling in love, falling in love, la-di-da, la-di-da, la-la, la-di-da, la-di-da, la-la.
Firstly, big thanks to Reese for lending her vocals to the demo track. It's actually one we wrote a while ago together, and I thought it would be perfect to re-record for this demo. It's available for streaming on Spotify or purchase on iTunes. Those links are in the description. So the Michael Kelly Forte port looks kind of familiar, and at the same time, kind of not. For materials, we've got a solid spruce top, sapele, still not entirely clear on the pronunciation, back and sides, a mahogany neck, and a 20-fret Ovancall, again my pronunciation is questionable, fingerboard with a 12-inch radius. Ovancall is a relative rosewood and supposedly has many of the same tonal properties, which for acoustic guitars is especially important, but almost as importantly, it feels pretty much just like rosewood. In fact, I thought it was rosewood until I went to Michael Kelly's website to check. This bridge is also made from Ovancall, but I'm not quite sure whether I like the design or not. I actually kind of dig the modern pointy aesthetic, but while changing the strings, I found that they popped out of the bridge far too easily. I think that's something I'd get used to and eventually develop a technique for, but the first time changing strings was a pretty annoying experience. The entire guitar is covered by an ultra thin satin finish, which I'm a big fan of on lower cost guitars. Oftentimes the thick polygloss finishes on inexpensive instruments can make the guitar feel too plasticky, so I'm liking that Michael Kelly went the satin route for the Forte port. So when it comes to looks, there's no mistaking that this is an acoustic guitar, but the non-traditional offset hole placement is something Michael Kelly describes as part of their proprietary port technology. They say that the unusual hole placement, in addition to a new inner bracing design, leads to an uninterrupted soundboard area between the bridge and the neck, basically more vibrating wood in that area, increasing both volume and resonance. This particular model is the $300 Forte port, and it's the least expensive in Michael Kelly's lineup of acoustic guitars with said port technology. There's also the Forte Exotic, the Triad port, and the Forte Port X, each with their own visual style and wood combinations. Now, 99% of the time I'm playing the guitar, I'm playing an electric, so a lot of cheap acoustics feel hard or uncomfortable to play. The necks are big, the action's high, the strings are heavy. Not the case with this Michael Kelly. The neck is listed as having a comfortable C shape, and I would tend to agree. There's kind of one sharp end where the fingerboard contours into the body, but other than that, the fretwork is very good for a budget guitar. The neck binding is also kind of rolled on the edges, so it doesn't feel cheap. Combined with the satin finish, it feels very fast, especially for an acoustic guitar. The Forte port also ships fully set up from the factory, so it's all intonated properly, the action is low, but not too low. The nut is also cut for the included light strings, which means the guitar is very comfortable even for wimpy-fingered electric guitar players like myself. The die-cast tuning machines are nice enough, they turn smoothly, they're not jumpy, and they have the Michael Kelly logo engraved on the back, so they look good too. The Forte Forte features a 9-volt battery-powered Fishman preamp, which means the guitar can be plugged into an amp, an interface, or a PA system, or even run through effects pedals. The controls on the preamp are minimal with just 2 dials for EQ and volume, but it is a very, very cool inclusion for a sub $300 acoustic guitar. On to the sounds. Okay, I will admit I don't know that much about acoustic guitars. I think it sounds good, especially given the price tag. The Michael Kelly did come stock with D'Addario strings, which is definitely an upgrade over generic Chinese strings. They looked and felt pretty good, but as I mentioned in a previous video, I was selected as Performer Magazine's Artist of the Month, and as part of that, I was sent a couple sets of Elixir NanoWeb acoustic strings to try out, which I'm now using on this guitar. I put them on a couple weeks ago, and I've been playing the Forte port regularly to get a feel for it for the review, and amazingly, they still almost feel as fresh and sound as bright as when I first put them on. I don't play acoustics that often, so I'm psyched that I won't have to change my strings that much with the Elixirs. And not only that, they feel almost the same as normal acoustic strings. Compared to the strings on my other acoustic, they feel smoother, but it's barely noticeable. So here's what the guitar sounds like plugged in directly, then mic'd up with an SM57, and lastly mic'd up with an AKG P120. Again, I'm not that familiar with acoustic guitars, but I think this sounds more than good enough to jam with, to gig with, even record with. Traditional acoustic guitars only have the single front-facing hole, which means most of the sound is projected in only one direction. This Forte port with the top-facing hole also projects the sound up, so it's really loud, even for the player. It's like a sonic blowhole. Now, I did notice compared to my other acoustic guitar, the Forte port has a slightly more artificial sound, but that guitar is much more expensive, over 5 times the price. And now it's time for Simon Says, the segment where we ask my guitar noob roommate what he thinks of the Michael Kelly Forte port. Simon, what do you think of this guitar?
This is like the lightest guitar I've ever reviewed. It's like an empty box. Looks like what they call an acoustic guitar. I thought acoustic guitars had a hole here. The hole's like here, and there's a hole here too. What is this? I've never seen a guitar like this. It's definitely unique. I've never reviewed an acoustic guitar. I don't even know where to begin. Some weirdly placed holes. And 6 strings, of course. 2 holes is better than 1 hole, because more sound can come out. I would give it 1.5 stars. Thumbs. 1.5 thumbs.
So I always enjoy having Michael Kelly guitars on the channel. This Forte port is everything that I would personally look for in a budget acoustic guitar. It sounds good, it plays really well, it's loud, and it can be plugged in directly. If you're an electric player looking to take the plunge into the world of acoustics, or you're just after a feature-packed bargain, check the Forte port out. They're also at Sam Ash stores right now, so you can check them out in person if you're not into the whole online buying sight unseen thing. So if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and drop it a like. These are of course just my opinions, and I'd love to hear yours, so leave them in the comments and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Also, while you're at it, hit the notification bell, otherwise YouTube might not let you know about any new uploads. Thank you to Luke for mixing the demo track. His email is in the description if you need any mixing done yourself, if you want to hear the song and Reese's awesome vocal work again, or download it, those links are in the description. And thanks to Michael Kelly for making the guitar available for the video. If you want to support what I do with the honest reviews and get bonus extras like song downloads and tabs to all my videos, please check out my Patreon. All the links are in the description, including where to get the gear featured, social media, signal chain, and our Discord server, which you should definitely join. As always, thanks so much for watching. You've been awesome. This is the Michael Kelly Forte port, loaded with Elixir Nano Web strings, and I'll see you for the next video.